Hey guys, I'm here to go over the evolution of Swordsoul Tenyi. It's changed a lot with its incorporation of Red Rose, just like we saw in the OCG. Makes sense. We see lists playing two Hulks more than before, where they're playing zero until we started playing Auroradon. Then we started playing one. Now we're playing two because of Shooting Riser and even like formula niche stuff you can do. So I just brought a bunch of different lists that we can talk about and just kind of like define why this deck is cool or actually does have a place in the format. It's not just like a terrible deck. I think it's one of those decks that actually could be like, if you really wanted to top a YCS, um, this deck is so consistent that it could guarantee you that top. But at the same time, I don't feel like it's powerful enough to win, and I go into that a lot. It's just the problems it has still is consistency issues with multiples. It's a deck that's terrible with multiples. Um, and it kind of got helped by, we replaced the Moye, Taye, less normal summons, Ecclesia, but we add the Red Rose, which is, our main normal summon. So for the normal summons, we have Red Rose and Taye and Moye. That's it, but usually we're specialing those off Yazi when we're doing the full combo anyway. So it's pretty cool to see how the deck has changed. One strong suit about this deck is it can play a lot of hand traps because all you need is a worm, and pretty much a lot of cards combo with each other, like regardless. Moye is good with anything. Adhara and Shuna are good together. Vishuda and Red Rose, Shuna and Red Rose, like a lot of stuff works. Even Ghost Ogre Ash, they can function just like they do in the 3 axis deck. So this deck's definitely really consistent. Drawing two vessels can still suck, but what are you gonna do? We're not playing Desires anymore too. I've noticed that a lot because we want the Deskbot in deck, even though we wanted the Deskbot in deck before. So I do think it's pretty interesting that people don't play Desires, but we have stuff to banish like Basil Red Shoe, Rocks Rose Dragon. So it makes sense, but it would just be if you were to do your combo first, then you would do it as like, a necessity, and then we'd still have our Tenyi plays, and we're pretty much playing the old Sorcerer deck, which isn't that bad to me. But enough rambling about my thoughts on, I'm basically explaining why I'm not playing this deck myself, because I love it, and I thought it was really good last format. I actually loved last format. I thought when people discovered Auroradon, it was actually developing so nicely. I think this format would be great if Scythe didn't exist. I mean, this format would be perfect. I would have so much more fun if that card just was not in it. So looking at this list, this just did really well in a case tournament. Just a little more recent, we have 3 Ash, 3 Valor, 3 Ghost Ogre, 3 Nib, and that's it for the hand traps. So we have a total of 12 hand traps. We have the adventure package. A lot of players electing to run 2 Fateful Adventurer because the level 7 Griffin can function just like a Tenyi when you're doing the combo. So it makes sense. You can just special it still, which isn't that bad. Chain it to your Vishuda, go Vishuda, chain Griffin even. Pretty cool. For the side, we see the Floodgate, Lancia. Interesting comment someone had in my last video, 40 players playing Lancia in their main or side at the last YCS, the highest represented hand trap in total, probably because of expectations for PKs, and just, inherently good versus the Brave Engine. Just, if you want to counter that, just know a lot of people have caught on to Lancia, and it might be worth changing your strategy. For the side 3 Gamma Driver, I think literally every Sword Soul player either mains or sides those cards, and that's kind of reminiscent of the Bird Up deck, because that's really what I think started everything. That was one of the only outs to the combo, going second, because you actually destroyed the Recital. 2 Lightning Storms, you need spell trap removal in it. 3 talents, kind of cool strat. I would love to try that. I've never tried talents in it. I just don't like talents in general as a card. In most cases, it just seems lackluster, too gambly. 3 Impermanence. He has 3 Nibiru's in the main. It's one of the best combos in the game, as I said before. I'm interested what he would side out though. You know, like what are we siding out those 3 imperms for? I guess first Invoked, he definitely goes in over Nibiru. I do think he has not that much for Invoked, so maybe I would play Twin Twisters over Lightning Storms. But I do think this is a solid list. When we see the extra, we see the 2 Hulk, 2 Monk. This extra is pretty solid too. Formula has gotten a lot better because now we can make this new Sword Soul synchro on their turn with their level 8, which is pretty powerful. So we're actually going to use the Hulk second effect, a special summon formula in the main phase, then synchro into a level 10. Onto 2 YCS deck lists. I got top 32. This was a pretty cool 41 card. Oh, actually, I think the last one was YCS, and this is a case tournament. So apologies for that. But I thought this list was also really cool because he's playing Destruado, and he's siding Super Poly, which I thought was going to be a big meta call when I saw how powerful Scythe was. For hand traps, we have 9 of the same ones, and we're not playing Nibiru, so that cuts out 3 cards. We're also not playing Vessel, we're playing Eldlich. So definitely, I would say this list is more consistent, but the snow is another brick. One difference we noticed, he's playing the Desperado, the snow. It gives more power to his Foolish as well. I honestly really like this list, though. I would encourage y'all to try this. He could even side the Fusion for Super Poly. I think would definitely be correct. I don't think he needs... I think his extra space game 1 is more valued than his side deck space, right? Because all these side deck cards do the same thing, and they can really damage your engine with all these like evenly Lightning Storm droplets and Super Poly, like, and Token Collector perhaps, because we want to just counter the Brave engine. I don't know. It's a lot of going second cards. I feel like he might have had trouble side decking, or at least he didn't probably think about it that much. Hani's deck, one of the best players in the game. We have 3 Ash, 2 Valor, 2 Bell, 3 Ogre. Interesting that he chooses 2 Bell and 2 Valors. 3 Nibiru, 2 Imperms. So we're playing a lot of traps, hand traps in our 48 card deck. So we have 3, 5, 7, 10, 13, 15. So just see percentage it is of the deck, 15 divided by 48. He's only playing 31%, so that's not that many actually. So he's gonna be drawing 1 hand trap or 1.5 a lot. We're playing all the normal summons, so I think what I want to highlight about this is just that we're not playing the Brave engine. You don't need it, so like if you don't have the cards, it might actually be better to just play pure Sword Soul. This is actually what I built when the format just started. I just put like 3 Imperms, 3 Chalice, like all these 1-for-1 cards, hoping I would just draw a combo to prevent the Scythe lock. And then going first, you're just going to do a really strong board just like usual. It was actually pretty surprising to see Hani play this deck though. I wonder his reasoning behind it. I know he has a deck profile. Sorry I haven't watched that, but you definitely should check it out. I think it's on Pack's channel, where I know he's probably going more in depth about this, because I think this is really cool that he went with like the old strat in a new format and he still did well, and that's what I'm talking about with the guaranteed top. I feel like this list in particular is literally a guaranteed top just because it's so consistent. You know, we do have a lot of normal summons with the Moyes, the Tayes, the Ecclesias, but the hand traps probably offset that going second. And you're less likely to draw multiples with more cards in your deck, like 48. So I think it's definitely well thought out. Like I said, I like the 3 Twin Twisters in the side. The red reboot's really good. He's got the Lancias, the Gammas. We already established those are pretty much everything. I like that he didn't main deck droplets. I wouldn't have main deck droplets at this last event just because it doesn't really do anything. You're going like -3, and then they're still going to have their follow-up, and it's just like... you just lose anyway when you droplets. You need droplets in a hand trap, and I don't know if it's better than another hand trap in a 2-card combo scenario. So yeah, good job, Tommy. Just want you guys to think about, you know, the differences, or if Brave Engine's worth it or not. Definitely try for yourself. I don't think it's definitive yet which one's better than the other. So this was the first place in an OTS recently. Every deck's had max out Tenyis. We have the 1 Swordsoul of each. And no 2 Fateful Adventurers, so we're electing to play Vessel and Droplets over some of those other cards the other players were playing. We're not playing the Hulk, 2 Hulk for a formula. Instead, we're playing, I think, we're playing Shooting Riser instead, because we're playing the Snow. Yeah, I would maybe put Desperado in this deck. I don't think your Foolish really does anything besides the Adventurer package. So I think the Desperado makes sense. The lack of hand traps in this deck, though, is scary. I mean, that's the one thing that I think is just so weird about Gamma, is that, like, your driver could be another hand trap. So is that power level of, like, Gamma destroying another card worth not having another hand trap? Like, I don't know. I've definitely drawn Gamma and driver together, so you tell me. What else? Yeah, we see this 3 Lancia again, 3 Nibiru on the side. So every list has pretty much played Nibiru and Lancia as far as I can see, either in the main or side, except this one. And he was playing Super Polys instead. I definitely like Nibiru and Swordsoul, especially going first. It can just be so powerful. You can just seal a game if you do your consistent combo and then have a Nibiru on top of it when they interrupt all your stuff, because we're not Scythe locking, we're just doing the normal Swordsoul board, but now we have a better level 10 synchro because it's just so good versus the Fateful Adventurer. So yeah, not much more to say about that. It's been a pretty long video. Second place, Landon. Definitely a really good player. We see the 1-ofs, the max out Tenyis, and he actually decided to play 11 hand traps. I'm counting Droplets as a hand trap in the main, which I definitely like. 11 out of 43. Let's see real quick. 25%, so less than Hani. And he did well at this case tournament recently. Besides the combo, Gammas and Nibirus, the Twin Twisters, like I said, I really like Red Reboot and Twin Twister. I think Imperm's a really weird side card, though. I know it's probably for Invoked, but maybe there's a better card than that. So, yeah, what do you think? Do you think the Adventurer engine is necessary in this deck? It's really good with Red Rose, but we can just play the old Swordsoul build and, still perform really well. So, I think it's interesting how this deck has just changed so much. I do like the 2 Hulks. I think Token Collector is actually shifting out. We did see some players playing it, but it's usually just 1 because of their Shooting Riser, and how often are they really sending that? Turn 1, because they're usually just doing Scythe anyway. But that's the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to try to do another deck in the future. Let me know what you think. Appreciate all the support. I got a new Patreon in the description if you want advanced coaching. I'm going to put my all into that. So enjoy.